Have you ever had one of those awkward moments where someone smiles, shakes your hand, clearly tells you their name, and 5 seconds later your mind goes completely blank? Yeah, it happens to almost everyone. You're standing there trying to act normal, hoping they don't ask, "So, what's my name?" Meanwhile, your brain is scrambling like it just lost the most important file in the world. It feels embarrassing. Sometimes you might even think, "What's wrong with my memory?" But here's the surprising truth. Forgetting someone's name usually has nothing to do with having a bad memory. In fact, psychology shows that your brain is actually working exactly the way it was designed to. Let me explain. Imagine this scenario. A guy named Daniel Carter walks into a small coffee shop in Seattle. It's his first day at a new job, and his manager introduces him to a coworker. "Daniel, this is Olivia Brooks," she says. Olivia smiles and says, "Nice to meet you." Daniel shakes her hand. "Nice to meet you too." And then it's gone. Not Olivia's face. He remembers that perfectly. Brown hair, bright smile, confident energy. But her name? Completely vanished. Later that afternoon he's thinking, was it Amanda? Emma? Sophia? Sound familiar? The reason this happens starts with a simple truth about how the brain processes information. Your brain loves meaning. When you learn something that connects to a story, an experience, or useful knowledge, your brain stores it much more easily. For example, Daniel quickly remembers that Olivia works in marketing, loves hiking, and moved from Colorado last year. Those details stick. But her name? A name is often just a random label. It doesn't tell your brain anything meaningful. It doesn't explain who the person is or what they do. So your brain doesn't treat it as important information. Without meaning, the brain simply doesn't store it very strongly. But that's only part of the story. Another big reason names disappear so quickly is divided attention. Think about what's happening in your mind when you meet someone new. You might be thinking, do I look confident? What should I say next? Did that handshake feel awkward? I hope I make a good impression. Your brain is juggling a dozen thoughts at the same time. So when Olivia says her name, Daniel hears it, but his attention isn't fully focused. And when attention is split, the brain often fails to properly record the information. It's like trying to save a file on a computer while 10 other programs are running. Sometimes it just doesn't save. There's also something fascinating about how the human brain evolved. For thousands of years, recognizing faces was far more important than remembering names. Your ancestors needed to quickly identify who was a friend, who was family, and who might be a threat. Because of that, the brain developed powerful systems specifically for facial recognition. That's why Daniel can remember Olivia's face weeks later if he runs into her at the grocery store. He'll instantly think, I know her. But the name attached to that face? That's stored in a completely different way, and it's much easier to lose. Another surprising factor is something many thoughtful people experience: an overactive mind. Some people constantly analyze, observe, and think deeply about everything around them. While that can be a strength, it can also create what psychologists call cognitive overload. If your mind is racing with thoughts, it becomes harder for new information, like someone's name, to settle into memory. So ironically, forgetting names can sometimes happen because your brain is too active, not because it's weak. And finally, there's one more important piece of the puzzle. Your memory works best through associations. When your brain can connect new information to something familiar, it sticks much better. For example, if Daniel had thought, Olivia, like my cousin Olivia, or Olivia who loves hiking, that mental link might have helped the name stay in memory. But most introductions happen so quickly that we never create those connections. The name floats in for a second, then disappears just as fast. So the next time you forget someone's name, don't be too hard on yourself. It doesn't mean you're careless. It doesn't mean you're unintelligent. And it definitely doesn't mean your memory is broken. It simply means your brain is prioritizing meaning, faces, and important information, just like it was designed to do. And honestly, we've all been Daniel in that coffee shop. Now I'm curious, has this ever happened to you in a really awkward situation? Maybe at work, a party, or even on a first date? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy learning the hidden psychology behind everyday human behavior, make sure you subscribe to the channel and join us for more videos like this. Because once you start understanding how the human mind really works, you begin noticing things about people that most others completely miss.